What's going on, guys? It is AERO-Gaming here. We're here to produce more and more cringe content for you guys because we've been active for about a year now. But we're done with the whole normal routine of AERO-Gaming, and we're actually going to turn this channel into a podcast channel. It's still me, Joby, and Tyler, still the originals, I guess, of AERO-Gaming, which we're going to do a whole new name, new topics, everything. We've got our own things on our own channel, so if you guys would like to, there'll be links into the description as well as on the channel bar, then you guys can definitely check out each individual's channels. But it's definitely reminiscent, to say the least, to be here again on this channel. What was the reason that we were gone for so long?
Oh,
I don't know. I ended up leaving AERO-Gaming in the middle of it, and then I'm back.
I'm back. But we had essentially lost our password, basically, so after the end of AERO-Gaming, that was basically the
do you want to give the real reason, or do you want to give that reason?
We're just going to go with that reason for now, because that's mostly what happened, other than, like, screwy things with friends and stuff like that, but that's in the past. So, we're here, and this is the first podcast. Some of you from our other channels have come over and talked with us today, but this is just going to be a podcast channel where we basically discuss YouTube itself, YouTube news, drama, well, not like drama channels, but, like, just YouTube things. Which can be just basically talking to you guys. That way, while you play some games or while you mow the lawn or whatever it is that you do, you can just listen to us talk about some things maybe you can relate, and also post your opinions into the comment section down below. So, what topic should we talk on first? YouTube itself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I say we go off of a video that Tyler over here had made recently, and it was about how the struggle is real for small YouTubers.
I completely agree with that, because, like, if you're a struggling, like, small YouTuber, it could be hard for you to, essentially, like, gain a following base up until, like, something will hit off and, like, you can get, I suppose, better. Like, as of instance, what blew up my channel was stuff that I do on it, which you guys that have come from my channel will know. It just blew up, and now that I do it on a regular basis, and it still helps me grow, you just gotta find that core element that, like, you guys can get, and, like, yeah, thank you very much, but like, that you guys can, like, get and strive for. If it sounds weird with other audio aside from mine, we're having to do this, like, differently than what we normally do, but the majority of the podcast will be different after this one. This is just a welcome back. We're here now and making some dope content, so
Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully.
Well, yeah, since it was my video, I definitely agree. Smaller YouTubers have the disadvantage, I guess you would say, because they're never on the recommended. Their titles can be clickbait, but they still won't get viewed. And then if you ask people to look at your channel or something, you're shunned upon. So you're in a sticky situation where you have to rely on YouTube luck and the algorithm, and if it's going to go everywhere. And then, like, tags are another thing. A lot of YouTubers don't know how to do tags, and even though your videos are great, if you do even better tags, people with shitty content can make great views and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it requires a lot of money to actually get onto YouTube, and you would hope to just make it back, but YouTube doesn't aid with that at all, really. So, I mean, I'm not saying you should do YouTube for the money, but for people that have been doing YouTube for a while and been making really good content, they should really get the effort they've put in back from YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube has turned into the thing where unless you go out of your way to make some different or, like, original content, because, like, gaming isn't necessarily very original, but I mean, like, it's something like I'm not really sure how to, like, describe it. It's a thing to where you can do it yourself, and, like, you can, like, create your own unique feel to it. And, like, it's not all the same, but, like, unless you find something that's yours and, like, you can really do, like, typical, like, just like you doing commentaries could be a good thing. Like, if you're humorous, or if you've got, like, a funny voice or a great voice or something like that, then that can get you pretty far. But unless you spice it up and, like, you just run down, like, steps. Step one: don't have any sort of, like, disadvantage, like, logo or, like, channel banner, because people who have, like, just, like, YouTube's, like original basic template and stuff like that, like, no big or YouTuber or like YouTube friends will come to your channel and they'll think, like, just like normally they'll ignore you, like you're this person who is uneducated in terms of YouTube, but which you could be, but it could just be bad. But just YouTube in general, as of the moment, aside from being, like, a smaller channel, is basically like kind of messed up with YouTube algorithms and what's trending, what's relevant and what isn't. As of instance, experiment 1000 degree knife cutting through things, which is the exact same outcome every single time. This is just based on my opinion. Either it bursts or it pops or it melts or this the same outcome every single time. It's just yeah, it cuts. Oh boy, it cuts. But I mean, it's just YouTube as a whole is messed up right now, and I'm really hoping that since the new year has started in 2017, it can become completely different and better for everybody. What do you feel?
Oh, I feel like mainly I have two things. So back in like 2005, whenever YouTube like first like was created, when somebody would post some content and it was pretty great, like everybody viewed it, it would show up on the homepage. Like you could actually get famous back then just for making something as simple as like a remix to a song or just dancing like a retard. I mean, you could do anything like that. And now, like, since there's so many YouTubers, like there's so many vloggers, so many gamers, so many like musicians, there's just so much of everything. It's so hard for small upcoming YouTubers such as us, like, just to get out there. You have to do something random, ridiculous, and like maybe stupid enough just to even get like some views.
Yeah, I can definitely like agree with that, and I mean like it could be hard for like some people like on the lower level, but like unless you like strive for it and like you want to make this like your goal, like then you're gonna have to, because back then you could have done it like so easily because like there wasn't a whole lot of people out there. Like even in terms of channel names, I'm sure that like to create ours, it could take a while. I mean like to actually think of one that's authentic and original and hasn't been taken when millions of people without even using like accounts just create names and are just there and are like inactive. I mean it could just be like kind of hard to kind of form that thing. But like once you get like your own like original channel name and your channel art and logo, and like you make content, you grind on YouTube, then I mean like you're gonna get set eventually. I'm positive.
Yeah, like I've put about 2 years of time into YouTube, give or take, and I've uploaded daily about two times, and I'm uploading daily at the moment now. And you can definitely see like a spike in growth and views if you do upload daily. But I think a big part of it is just trying to get into people's recommended when it comes to titles and stuff. Back in the day, like Joby was saying, your video could be about anything, and it didn't matter if it was like relevant or not. As long as it was a good video or people could laugh at it, it would always be on YouTube's homepage or easy to find. But nowadays, like YouTube has so much stuff. Like I get the feeling that YouTube should maybe delete some channels that like aren't doing anything. That way, because a lot of times channels that don't even have content will post up before other people's channels, even though they have the content. I don't get it. Like channels with no subscribers. If you look up AERO-Gaming, you'll see channels that have like barely any subscribers pop up before we do, and it doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, if you've been here from AERO-Gaming, that name is dead. The old content is dead. The videos will go on unlisted. If you enjoyed the videos, which, God, I wonder how you did, that I apologize. But basically, that kind of content's going away. Like I said, I do different stuff on my channel where I have my friend Tyler here on that channel, and I have Joby here on my channel as well as I'm on some of theirs. If you want to go check them out, of course you always can. I know that like some of you like diehard fans that were like fans of like certain series that we've done, whether it was Road to Prestige or Minecraft Survival Series, regardless, that stuff has basically ended for this channel. And for those of you who thought that like the channel was bad, so did we, believe me. Like we would go back on this channel and look and cringe upon like the certain videos that we used to make where we had such a squeaker type voice, and it was awful. But
we literally made a video making like ourselves sound like some like angsty teenage skateboarders, like
yeah.
Like the whole video, and it was so cringy like looking back at it now. And from what we were making like actual GTA skits with actual characters, trying to put ourselves in their shoes, it's like, what the heck were we thinking? Like, what were we like? What?
Yeah, I don't understand what we were thinking at the time. And I mean, like, now that we look back on our old channels, this basically old channel, we're just like, oh my God, thank God that we've changed, and we're not the same way that we've always been, And I mean, and those who would like look on like this channel with like disgust or like it was like terrible. Believe me,
We know.
we know. Trust me, we look on our old videos with cringe, but we're here now doing podcasts, talking about things, and that's basically it. We haven't come up with a name yet, but we're going to. We're going to simultaneously agree on a name. Excuse me, guys. And we'll just get back to it. And I suppose we will do most likely a weekly podcast unless something big is happening, as of instance, whether a new console drops or whether a new thing gets announced or whether something huge happens in the world. We will definitely be there to talk about it. And we are a new channel. Well, this is old channel, but new name, new outlook, stuff like that, to where...
Remastered.
Yeah, remastered.
Wow.
Where we target things that are happening today, but we don't cause any offense. We are a clean type of community where we just want your essential opinion, whether you agree or disagree with anything of what we're saying or of what we're talking about. We welcome all opinions as long as they are not hateful or in spite, which that aside is from constructive criticism. But yeah, we're just here now, and we're just doing this. What do you guys think?
I mean, I miss AERO-Gaming. I miss like having people to upload with, like
As a team?
Yeah, as a team.
Yeah, as a team.
Which, speaking of, I have started a team for this reason. So I guess I'm in like clan, but one group is my friends and one is my YouTube buddies, which I'll probably end up having them in just because they need to be in it anyways.
I'm OP in games like Overwatch, Rainbow. If you've seen footage, you know I'm the best out of everybody.
Oh, he's amazing.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I totally disagree with you.
Why you say that?
Dude, I don't want to get into it right now.
You're right. Yeah,
This video proof to show enough.
Yeah, but we can't have any fighting in the studio. That is my bedroom. But anywho, I suppose next topic we'll get on to is how YouTube is essentially broken. Like it has been shattered since we've been here, like on this channel. It's just trying to become like family friendly and trying to get more money somehow. Like in order to get like on the trending tab, you have to essentially pay. Such as if you go on trending right now, you can see people like the Expert Thief. You can see people like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, all types of things like that. You can see all these talk shows. Which I mean, like, why is that even like on YouTube if they're a talk show on television? Why are they of all people on trending? They already have sponsorships, deals, like merchandising. And I mean, like, why be on YouTube? Like, what do you guys think?
Like, that's already screwed up in one way because they're already successful when it comes to cable TV and stuff like that. So you're already screwing over the smaller YouTubers and helping out people who are already celebrities. And not only that, the content's trash. One of them is the karaoke carpool videos,
Oh
whatever
my God.
they have no purpose. They're worse than Musicallys. But they have celebrities.
We're worse than Musicallys.
But they have celebrities, so it's passed off as okay. Like, it was in YouTube Rewind. Like, I don't understand how YouTube Rewind has consisted of cable television. This isn't cable Rewind. This is YouTube Rewind. And the system's broken in that sense, but the trending tab, the fact that they added it in was all a business decision. Because without the trending tab, I could always find the people I wanted, but then the trending tab is there. So you get away from the YouTubers that you like and into these corporations that want you to watch their content, which isn't even that good. But yeah, that's just my thoughts about it.
Yeah, like, what do you think about the whole like YouTube and like how YouTube Rewind was this year? And like do you agree with everything that should have been in it?
Well, a couple of things about it. It's just like YouTube Rewind is this thing that started off in 2012 or maybe a little bit earlier with just like pictures and small things of different videos, maybe small clips. But not only that, YouTube Rewind is meant to be your favorite YouTubers coming together, doing some famous trends from the year, and just all being there so you can enjoy and maybe doing some of the stuff that you enjoyed throughout the year. Now, with what they're doing now is like this year was mainly memes, and how I felt about it was just like, what in the world? Like, you're not focusing, like, memes are pretty big. Like, I'm not gonna lie, memes are the biggest thing probably of 2016.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, there's so many other things that happened this year that were not even showcased once in YouTube Rewind, such as like drama channels and stuff, which were pretty big. And like, you can't say that they're not meant to be there technically. I mean, they are pretty not family friendly, but I mean, they still deserve to be there because everybody watched like people like that.
Yeah, they have put in the grind like just as much as like these big YouTubers have, which is like surprising. I mean, I may not like a lot of the YouTubers that have grown like a vast majority in 2016, but they grinded as much as they have, and they deserve to get some recognition for it. Like for those who have hit like 1 million subscribers in a year, whether or not you've hit 100,000, it doesn't necessarily matter. That's a massive fan base, and also like a message to those who are like complaining or like not necessarily complaining, because like some of you did deserve it. I'll give you that credit for that much. But those of you who were wanting to be in 2000 or well, the rewind of 2016, unfortunately it didn't make it. But like at the same time, you have a fan base of such a big variety that like that alone should be like your main goal, like what you should necessarily be thankful for. Like I myself only have 1K subscribers. Now to some people that's not a lot, but to me, whether or not you have 5 or 10 or 50 or 100 or God knows how many, that's still a very big amount of people that want to tune in and watch you know? So, I mean, like, that alone should be, like, your drive, other than being in some cringe of 2016, in my opinion, just solely based on me. I think that 2016 rewind of 2016 was not necessarily good. But speaking of drama, the Baited podcast had been separated the other day, which had originally consisted of Tommy C, Colossal is Crazy, and Keemstar. Now, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the things that they've said or that they've done, but it's not necessarily heartbreaking that a certain member known as Tommy C had left, which a large variety does not care that he left. A large variety did not like Tommy C whatsoever. If you do, I am sorry. I mean, I respect your opinion fully, but Colossal is Crazy had to depart with Tommy C because they had made a pact towards the very beginning, so Colossal had also had to leave, which is super unfortunate just because he was funny, he added commentary, he added life to it, as well as Keem did as well. The only issues that I have with Tommy was that all that he ever did was just laugh and be there and just take the cut at the end of the day and not focus on like what had actually mattered, was like the fan base and being there for them and just differences between him and Keemstar. And I feel as though it was necessarily unfair that Colossal had to leave too. If I had it my way, I would have it as Chad / anything for views, Colossal is Crazy, and Keemstar. Now that would be a triple threat awesomeness. That would be extremely good. What are your views on this?
Well, I made a video on it already, but Tommy C is a scumbag if you really think about it, because he had the least amount of percentage when it came to like how good he was in the podcast, but he was the main reason that the podcast was split up, which is like a small knife cutting a big rock. It doesn't make sense. And the fact that Colossal left because Tommy did, I feel like low-key maybe Colossal wanted that drama to happen because he may have realized Tommy C, while he is a good friend, he's not going to do much to the podcast, and maybe he was trying to start drama. That's just some conspiracy. But if you really think about it, why would he start a pact that Tommy C would leave? I feel like maybe he was only trying to help Tommy C out in the way he could, and that's through Keemstar, and everybody likes drama with Keemstar for some reason. I don't say Keemstar was in the right about the cuts, but why should Tommy get more money when he does the least to the thing? Maybe Colossal should deserve more money, but definitely Tommy C is just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, I can also agree with that. And as far as I'm concerned, Joby, like, you don't necessarily watch Baited, do you?
I don't really care for any like drama stuff, but like when it comes down to it, like you can't help but get into it when you hear it from other people, other YouTubers. Like it's all over YouTube. Like you can't get away from it if you're like participating in it. So mainly like it's just like back-to-back stories on random things, either if it's set up or not. You just have no doubt in hearing it.
Yeah, going off of that, actually, Keemstar said something that like was so true. He said, why would Colossal leave? This is why Colossal isn't growing, because he is at 100K, but his content's great. But it's because he doesn't care about the viewers. If you really think about it, he doesn't upload often, which is like already a no-no. And then he ruined the podcast that he did the best on. And Keemstar was like, at the end of the day, you're doing it for the viewers, for the entertainment value. And a lot of the times, that's what YouTubers don't do. They don't think about what the viewers think, which is something that you always got to keep on your mind. I'm not saying that you shouldn't worry about yourself, but I'm saying you shouldn't let your ego necessarily get ahead of you when it comes to that.
Yeah, I can agree too. And I mean, back in the day, I used to not necessarily like Keemstar a whole lot. Which I mean, I'm not a big fan of him today. But I mean, like I can stand the guy. But I actually have some respect for him. He said that I wanted to, or that Tommy C had wanted to handle things, or no, Colossal, that's crazy, wanted to handle things more mature. So Keemstar is basically being reactionary and was like, I agree. Like I will handle things maturely, like as much as you do. Like if you treat Keemstar with respect, he will most of the time treat you with respect, unless he's joking or anything else like that. Now Tommy C had handled things a bit, I would say, childish and immature. So then again, Keemstar had also been childish and immature. So going on to another topic, what would you guys have in mind as our next discussion?
It's kind of hard. Like, what I think about it recently, especially, is sub box notifications. And
Yes.
This was today, and I was scrolling through my feed, and I noticed that the Nintendo Switch was releasing a whole bunch of trailers and the inside scoops on YouTube from IGN. Like, straight up, just my whole sub box. Instead of seeing, like, YouTubers that I've subscribed to, notified from, like, instead of seeing them, it was just complete spam full of that. I'm not saying, like, I don't like Nintendo or anything, because I've been Nintendo fanboy since day one. But, like, I would rather have it, like, more filtered than it is right now. Because maybe, like, have, like, just, like, content separated in its, like, own playlist or something. That's just, like, an idea of mine. Like, from the different YouTubers. And, like, where it's actually equally distributed throughout the whole subscription box.
I agree with the whole subscription box, as well as another thing. I would get random YouTube notifications to where if somebody was live streaming, like if I'm subscribed to a certain person, I'm subscribed for a certain reason, whether they're funny or whether they're informative. For instance, like certain like game YouTubers, then I would like subscribe to them and like look like that. But at the end of the day, if I get a notification that somebody is live streaming, unless I subscribe to them for that reason, then I mean, it's just, I don't want to see it. I mean, I don't want to see, as example, I don't want to see that a certain YouTuber is streaming something that I would find completely unnecessary to watch and would be a complete waste of my time. And as well as another thing is it would recommend me trailers for movies, or like it would send me notifications for that. Like it would just send me like just random stuff, and I mean it wouldn't necessarily like make any sense. Like I don't care that Dog the Bounty Hunter is on his 56th season and they're almost dead or something like that. That's just a joke. Well, I was also as an example, and some childhood stuff right there, because that's my childhood show, boy. So like that is all that I would have to say in terms of YouTube notifications. What do you think?
Something I've noticed is the layout for YouTube on mobile is terrible for helping out all the YouTubers. Because the way it's laid out is there's one video, and then you scroll down and there's another video.
Preach.
And the only way you're ever going to see someone is if they're the last person to upload that day, and you happen to be checking at that time. The way it should be is the way it is on PC, in my opinion. You should have it like 4 on the screen at one time, or like even more, because at the end of the day, it's all very random for who's going to upload at what time, and the subscriptions, the way people are going to find it is usually through subscriptions. And while there are notifications, like you don't want spam notifications, because that like once you start doing it, you'll start ending up doing it for a lot of YouTubers. And once you start putting the notifications on for a lot of YouTubers, you're gonna end up avoiding them, just like you will with sub boxes. And I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTubers, but I can successfully say I watch a lot of them that I am subscribed to. But I definitely think the layout on mobile needs to change. Now, that's not the only problem. Obviously, people don't appear in sub boxes, but I definitely do think the layout is a big part why people don't watch videos, because they only see some videos and then they click on those and then they just stop watching.
I think that YouTube should have one massive update, right? Like to where it's on mobile or if it's on PC, to where not just an Outlook, because I do appreciate when YouTube changes their Outlook on like mobile or even PC. It would be nice to get a different Outlook because they've changed it upon the years. But like they try and make YouTube censored is what they're trying to do now. Like back example a year ago, whenever some channels weren't here, YouTube was just fine. There was no complaints about YouTube whatsoever. Maybe minor ones here or there, which YouTube would tend to every now and again. Which YouTube is trying to differentiate like YouTubers such as like Keemstar or Leafy or RiceGum or Philip DeFranco or just like big YouTubers who cause controversy in the YouTube community, which would either make viewers not like YouTube or say, hey, YouTube, get these channels out of here just because they disagree or something like that. But YouTube needs to have one massive update to the point where they have YouTube for kids, right? Or like a whole separate thing. Like YouTube for people who don't cuss, for people who are censored and want to be that way. And then another YouTube, like to where it's like, or like side of YouTube to where you can do whatever kind of content that you want and not get demonetized for it or like have to censor yourself just because like you don't want to like lose money, because that's a person's job that you're messing with, not just a hobby. Like people make income with that. They pay the bills, they pay the things that they like, car payments, they need to pay that stuff so that way they can get by. And YouTube is treating that as if it's like just like a hobby or something like that. I mean, like it's not necessarily like going all that well for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One thing I think that really YouTube screwed up on is the fact that they made the trending tab something that YouTube has to support that they're uploading. Not actually trending, but as long as YouTube supports that video and it's going viral, not even viral sometimes, then they'll post it. Because during the summer, RiceGum blew up, right? But he blew up off of diss tracks. So using this, YouTube isn't going to support diss tracks, so they're not going to put them on the trending page. But one video RiceGum did was not a diss track, and then that was on the trending page. Now, I understand YouTube doesn't want that to be on the trending page, but when it comes down to it, that's actually what's trending. That's actually what's getting a lot of views. And if you're getting the most views, you should be on the trending page.
Yeah.
Like, they'll put up PewDiePie's video for the 1 million subscribers, and I don't even think that's because it was PewDiePie. I think it's just because they gave him the 5 or 50 million subscriber button. They're like, look at us being good, YouTube. Like, I get this vibe from YouTube that YouTube doesn't really... that YouTube... they think that... Like, they have this outlook that they need to be so politically correct. Like with Philip DeFranco not being on YouTube Rewind because he didn't support Hillary Clinton. That they really just need to get this whole outlook that if it's trending because people are watching it. And if you support the people watching YouTube instead of YouTube supporting YouTube, I think you'll honestly do a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. That was crazy. You're going to make a man, like, not be in YouTube Rewind, which he's worked 10 years, just because he wouldn't support, like, a candidate for the election. Honestly, are you dead serious right now? Like, he could have played a big role and made YouTube Rewind a whole lot different if he had been in. Like, if you actually think about it, it would have changed so much more differently and, like, drastically. And, I mean, like, the guy works, like, as hard as he can to produce content, what, daily? With, like, not necessarily a whole lot of breaks in between. Which, I mean, I think that's ridiculous. You can't force somebody to do that. That's like an ultimatum. Like, if you don't support this person, you're out of YouTube Rewind. Like, that's just basically how it is. Which, I completely agree with what he did. I'd be like, no, screw you. I am not being in YouTube Rewind then. You cannot make me, like, vote on a person who I agree, like, that I disagree with. Like, that would be saying, like, as of instance, like, if you like a certain, like, console versus another console, trying to, like, you know, use examples, and, like, be like, if you don't buy the Xbox, you won't get this. You know, I mean, it's just like limitations like that. They're just, like, ridiculous. I mean, like, YouTube handled that in such an immature way. I mean, they could have seriously done something a whole lot different, you know what I'm saying? But, like, how do you feel about, like, how YouTube's standpoint is, like, nowadays, like, just, like, differentiating itself from, like, 2016, 2015, because 2015, I would say, was definitely one of the primes of YouTube.
That was a great year for YouTube.
Yeah, I agree. But how do you feel?
About what now? Like what give it
All
more
right, all
clear.
right. More clearly, like, how do you feel about YouTube's standpoint in 2016? What could they improve on in, like, suggestions and things like that you could have as a content creator, like, to either get yourself out there, like, not give you subscribers, but just, like, to earn them yourself, if you know what I'm saying, and, like, how would you improve YouTube if you could?
Like, if it were me, I would just make everything, like, even though there's such a wide base, and I know it's hard for YouTube, you know, like, keep up with everybody who's growing right now, and for everybody who's been up there, like, I would just try to make it as fair as, like, as you could as YouTube, because back in the day, even though there was so much, like, less people on YouTube itself, like, they could still make it work, even, like, with today's technology or whatever. Like, I don't think it would be that difficult for them because they're, like, one of the biggest platforms on the stinking internet. So, I mean, I don't see why they would not push for that to make their whole website a better website in general.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like YouTube should just make it to where it's even for everybody. Like, it's not like differentiating, because like small YouTubers who aspire to make this their goal, their dream, their passion, their job, like, for the future, they want to, like, be that person, but YouTube necessarily isn't, like, allowing them to do that. But I feel as though we are coming up on, well, actually, oh wow, we are on 30 minutes already. We're gonna try and keep this as brief as possible. But does anything else, or does anybody else have anything to add before we end off this first episode of the podcast?
Go subscribe to me.
And me as well. I only care about the views, the money. I only care about all of that, dude. Like, honestly, like 80 views can get me a
real
penny?
quick topic, and
All
I
right.
want you to help me on this, Tyler. Real quick about YouTube and how serious people are about it. Like, how serious people take everything on YouTube.
Oh, I could talk about that for days, but I'm gonna let Tyler do it.
So I made a video today about I'm coming out as I'm black, just as a joke. But some people actually did take it seriously, which was really weird because I thought it was pretty obvious. I walked out of closet and I said I was black, even though I'm white. But some people took it seriously, and I think that's something a lot of people don't realize is people are serious with some YouTubers when they want to be serious, but with other YouTubers they're like, nah, I don't care. Like, for example, Keemstar said the N-word, right? Now, I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but I'm saying
There's a gray area in there, honestly.
yeah, if iDub says the N-word, it's okay.
Oh my God! Everything is gonna be all right. I like that's how it's gonna be if he says it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't understand that. And if PewDiePie says the N-word too, not even in the sense that Keemstar did, it's wrong. But, like, if certain YouTubers do, it's okay. And it's not even the fact that the YouTubers have put that, like, mask on them, I guess, like, that they're censored to that point. It's just the fact that people like to make it so some YouTubers can do some things, but some can't. Like, I don't get that, in my opinion.
Yeah, because, like, people would basically, like, be so offended over everything to where it would be if Keemstar said something, like it would turn into a meme or a joke or something like that. If iDub said it, guess what? Meme or a joke. PewDiePie says it, but doesn't even, like, add it, like, not even, like, the racial thing. It just says, like, NIGG, and that's legit it. Like, there's no ER in the end. He didn't intend any, like, racial things with it at, like, whatsoever. But yet, oh my God, let's put it on CNN. Let's put it on BuzzFeed, people, which is cancer, by the way. BuzzFeed, if you ever watch this, honestly, dude, I would take a crap on your doorstep, honestly. Like, and I would stomp that down the drain, honestly. I mean, BuzzFeed is the stupidest thing. Yeah. Waffle stomping, dog. But, like, it's the stupidest thing ever. Like, if you go check it out, you'll understand what I mean. If you enjoy it, then that's all up to you. And I fully respect your opinion if you like them, but I despise them. I think BuzzFeed is stupid. But that is it for our first episode of the podcast. If you have any suggestions or comments, let us know down in the comment section down below, or if topics to talk about and things like that.
So pretty much what we're trying to get at is, like, this channel is supposed to be like an actual podcast. We want people to actually respond, so we can get your opinions and you can have our opinions, put them together, and actually, like, build an
community
actual conversation and communicate with each other, so everything makes sense. Like, if you're standing next to somebody, like, talking to them, Like, you want it to be like the same conversation you'd have with your subscribers or with people that you're wanting to discuss with as you would as somebody standing next to you. So I'm saying, like, if like you're gonna like post your comments, like, just make sure that it's not only for like spam or anything. Just conversate and like give maybe constructive criticism. Like, it doesn't really matter as long as you just basically like make it an actual conversation.
Yeah, like, we will treat you with the most utmost respect if you guys will do the same to us. We're not asking of a whole lot. We just ask that you take all of our conversations with a bit, like, grain of salt, and just treat us with respect, and we'll treat you with respect. That's basically how, like, our channel is now. So, we may create a new Twitter. What do you guys think? Create a Twitter for any information or news to like, tweet us at?
We'll
get
think.
our name.
We'll think about it.
When we get our name, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's basically what we'll do. Anything else to add?
Also, like, I know a lot of people don't comment just because they think like their comment's stupid or something. We don't care. We're pretty stupid ourselves, so like don't be scared to comment or anything like that, because we'll take it like every single comment and we'll use it in a podcast probably, because what you guys say is what we're gonna probably end up saying and giving our opinions on it, which is always really good. So don't be scared to comment whatever you want.
Yeah, we will respect your opinion no matter what, as long as it is not necessarily hateful. Now, if you're hateful towards a certain topic, that's one thing, but just as long as it is not us, then we are perfectly okay.
Feedback is key.
Yeah! Any other messages to add before we end this off?
Subscribe to J Up, Vivify, Trif3cta. We're out.
Yeah. So, links in description, and we will definitely see you guys in the next podcast. Follow Twitter, and we'll see you. I wish I had all this part on.